can wait no longer.
Give me
Hello.
something to do!
Welcome to our village.
I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say. War Chief. I can wait no longer. I'll consider it. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Finally. I can wait no longer. I'll consider it. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say. Finally. War Chief. I'll consider it.
Can I help you?
Whatever you say. War Chief. Finally. I'll consider it. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Whatever you say, finally. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Whatever you say, finally. I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say. Finally. You say. Finally. Howard. I'll consider it. Whatever you say.
Our allies town needs help.
You say. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say.
Our warriors have engaged.
Longer. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. I'll consider it.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally. Whatever you say. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Finally.
Face the fury of the warthog! Let none survive!
First blood.
I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. I'll consider it. Whatever you say. I'll consider it.
Face the fury of the warthog!
Howard. I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally. I can wait no longer. Whatever you say. Finally. I'll
Our allies
consider it.
town needs help.
Let none survive!
Finally. Whatever you say. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally. I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally. Whatever you say. Finally. I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say. Finally. We find it, Howard. Finally, I'll consider it. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally,
Our allies' town needs help.
Finally, I'll consider it. Finally,
Let none survive!
finally, I'll consider it. Finally, whatever you say. Finally,
Our allies' town needs help.
whatever you say, I'll consider it.
Weak-minded coward!
Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Whatever you say, finally, I'll consider it.
Our allies' town needs help.
I'll consider it. Finally, I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Finally, I'll consider it.
Let none survive! Taste
Our
the fury
allies'
of the
town needs
warthog!
help.
Finally, whatever you say. Finally, I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally, I'll consider it.
Let none survive!
Finally, I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally, I'll consider it. Whatever you say. I'll consider it. Finally, I can wait no longer.
What?
I'll consider it. Finally,
Let none survive!
I'll consider it. Finally, whatever you say. Finally, finally,
Are you threatening me?
I'll consider it.
Let none survive!
Finally, I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Watch it.
Let none survive!
Finally, I can wait no longer. Whatever you say.
Weak-minded coward!
Finally, whatever you say.
Welcome to our village.
I can wait no longer. I'll consider it.
Killing spree!
Our warriors have engaged.
Coward!
I can wait no longer. Finally, I'll consider it.
Weak-minded coward!
Town needs help.
Finally, I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Finally, whatever you say.
Let none survive! coward.
War Chief, I'll consider it.
Our allies' town needs help.
Coward.
War Chief,
Let none survive.
Are you threatening me?
I can wait no longer. I'll consider it.
The coward.
Finally. War Chief, I'll consider it. Whatever you say. War Chief, I'll consider it.
Killing spree. Let none survive.
Are you threatening me?
Finally. War Chief, finally.
The coward.
Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Whatever you say.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
War Chief. War Chief, I'll consider it. I'll consider it.
Let none survive. Coward.
Finally. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Finally.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
War Chief. I'll consider it. Finally. War Chief.
Let none survive.
Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Finally. Finally.
Fresh-minded coward. Dominating.
Finally. I can wait no longer. I'll consider it.
Let none survive.
Finally. I'll consider it. Finally.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Minded coward.
I'll consider it. War Chief. Finally. Whatever you say. Finally. I'll consider it. Whatever you say. I'll consider it. You say.
Let none survive.
Finally. Whatever you say. I can wait no longer. War Chief. Finally. Whatever you say.
Our allies' town needs help.
War Chief. Finally. War Chief.
Let none survive.
War Chief. Whatever.
Are you threatening me?
I War Chief, I'll consider it. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. War Chief. No longer. War Chief.
I'll have it up in no time.
I can wait no longer.
Taste the fury of the warthog!
Fresh meat.
Our warriors have engaged again.
War Chief, whatever you say, I'll consider it. Whatever you say. Dominating. I can wait no longer. Finally. War Chief. No longer. I'll consider it.
Weak-minded coward!
War Chief. I'll consider it.
Finally.
Our warriors have engaged again.
I'll consider it. I can wait no longer.
Are you threatening me?
War Chief, whatever you say,
Finally.
I'll consider
Minded coward!
whatever you say. I'll consider it no longer.
Let none survive!
War Chief, no longer.
Our warriors have engaged again.
Are you threatening me?
No longer.
Finally.
I'll consider it.
Finally.
Whatever you say.
Finally.
Our warriors have engaged again.
Weak-minded coward!
I'll consider it. Whatever you say. I'll consider it. War Chief,
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
no longer. War Chief. No longer.
Finally.
War Chief.
What?
Fresh meat. I can wait no longer. Whatever you say. War Chief.
Weak-minded coward!
War Chief.
Finally.
I'll consider
Are you threatening me?
whatever you say.
Finally.
I'll consider it.
Finally.
Whatever you say.
Finally.
I'll consider it.
Finally. Let none survive!
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
I can wait no longer. Whatever you say. I'll consider it. I can wait no longer. Whatever you say. I can wait.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
I'll consider it. I can wait no longer. Whatever you say.
Taste the fury of the war song. Let none survive. Idle.
I'll consider it.
Idle. Let none survive.
Killing spree.
What?
Whatever you say, I'll consider it.
Are you threatening me?
Where shall my blood be spilled?
Got it!
I can wait no longer. Watch you. Watch you. I can wait no longer. Whatever you say,
What? Are you threatening me?
I'll consider it. Whatever you say, I
Idle.
killing spree.
Taste the fury of the war song.
Mega kill. Unstoppable.
Taste the fury of the war song.
Triple kill. Watch you. Watch you.
Weak-minded coward.
I'll consider it.
Let none survive. Taste the fury of the war song.
I'll consider it.
Monster kill.
I'll consider it.
Idle. Taste the fury of the war song. Idle.
Whatever you say. Double kill.
What?
Give me something to do.
Are you threatening me?
I'll consider it. I can wait no longer. You say. I'll consider it. Whatever you say.
Idle.
Our
you
warriors have engaged the enemy.
I'll consider it. Whatever you say.
Find a coward. Let none survive! You find a coward? Find him.
Whatever you say. I can wait no longer.
Finally.
I'll
Finally.
Our warriors have engaged. Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Find a coward. Taste the fury of the warthog. Taste the fury of the warthog. Finally.
whatever you say.
Finally.
Whatever you say.
Finally.
Our warriors have engaged.
What?
Let none survive.
I'll consider it. War Chief,
Our allies' town is help.
I'll consider it.
Finally.
I'll consider
Finally.
it.
Find a coward.
What?
My life for Nezu. Finally.
I'll consider it. Whatever you say.
Killing spree.
I'll consider it. I can wait no longer. War Chief, whatever you say. I'll consider it.
Finally.
I'll consider it. I can wait.
Let none survive.
I'll consider it.
I die.
Double kill. Finally.
Are you threatening me?
Face the fury of the warthog!
Finally. I'll consider it. War Chief.
Let none survive!
Finally. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Whatever you say, I'll consider it. Finally. Whatever you say.
My big coward! Face the fury of the warthog!
Finally. Whatever you say. Finally. I'll consider it. Whatever you say, I'll consider it.
Let none survive! My big coward! Let none survive! Coward! Let none survive!
Triple kill! Ultra kill! Time is fleeting. I'll consume the living and the dead. I have heard the summons. Time is fleeting. Speak. My Nerub. My might cannot be matched. Kinky. I'll see to it. By Nerub. Indubitably, I'll see to it. By Nerub. Oblivion awaits. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerub. Time is fleeting. Indubitably. For the frozen throne. Rain. First blood. Indubitably. By Nerub. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. By Nerub. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. I have heard the summons. Oblivion awaits. consume the living and the dead. By Nerub, I'll see to it. By Nerub, I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Time is fleeting. Kinky. By Nerub, my might cannot be matched. Indubitably. Kinky. I'll see to it. Indubitably. I'll see to it. Indubitably. By Nerub, I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub, I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. Indubitably. By Nerub. I'll see to it. I've heard the summons. Kinky. By Nerub. Kinky. Speak. Indubitably. Kinky. Indubitably. By Nerub. For the frozen throne. Kinky. I'll see to it. My might cannot be matched. Feel the venom of Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead.
More gold is required.
I'll see to it. I
More
serve
gold is
only the
required.
frozen throne. I'll consume the living and the dead. I have heard the summons. I'll see to it. By Nerub. I'll see to it. By Nerub. Indubitably. By Nerub. Kinky. I'll see to it. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the
Town
dead.
is under attack.
For the frozen throne. I'll see to it. Kinky. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. By Nerub. Oblivion awaits. I serve only the frozen throne. Kinky. Feel the venom of Nerub. Indubitably. Kinky. I'll consume
brethren's
the
town is
living
under
and
attack.
the dead. I'll see to it. Kinky. Oblivion awaits. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to
Our
it.
brethren's town is under attack.
By Nerub. Kinky. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. By Nerub. Speak. I'll consume the living and the dead. I have heard the summons. I'll see to it. Indubitably. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll see to it. I'll consume
brethren's
the
town is
living
under
and the
attack.
dead. Kinky. Feel the venom of Nerub. By Nerub. For the frozen throne. I'll see to it.
Our brethren's town is under
I'll
attack.
consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. Indubitably. By Nerub. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. Time is fleeting. I'll see to it. By Nerub.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
I'll consume the living and the dead. Speak. Indubitably. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. Indubitably. Kinky. Indubitably. Kinky. I have heard the summons. I'll see to it. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. I'll see to it. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Indubitably. Killing spree. From the dead. Speak. Time. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. For the frozen throne. Oblivion awaits. I'll see to it. From the depths I'll come. Indubitably. My might cannot be matched. Speak. Kinky. I'll consume
brethren's
the
town is
living
under
and
attack.
the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably.
Our brethren's town is under
I'll
attack.
consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. Indubitably. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. For the frozen throne. I'll consume the living and the dead. My might cannot be matched. I'll see to it. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. Speak. I'll see to it. Kinky. I'll see to it. I'll consume
brethren's
the
town is
living
under
and
attack.
the dead. Kinky. My might cannot be matched. Indubitably. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
For the frozen throne. Feel the venom of Nerubian. I'll consume the living and the dead. Speak. I'll see to it. Kiki. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. I'll see to it. Kiki. Indubitably. Kiki. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. I'll see to it. By Nerub. Raid. Feel the venom of Nerub. I'll see to it. Indubitably. Mega kill. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Kinky. My might cannot be matched. I'll see to it. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. I serve only the frozen throne. I'll see to it. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Speak. Indubitably. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. By Nerub. I'll see to it. By Nerub. Kinky. I'll see to it. I have heard the summons. By Nerub. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. Kinky. I'll see to it. Oblivion awaits. By Nerub. Rain. I'll see to it. Kinky. I'll see to it. Kinky. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. Unstoppable cannot be matched. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll see to it.
More work?
My might cannot be matched. By Nerub.
Our forces are under attack.
I have heard the summons. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead.
Our forces are under attack.
By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerub. Indubitably. I'll see to it. Kinky. Time is fleeting. living and the dead. I'll see to it. Indubitably. Rain. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. Kinky. I'll see to it. Indubitably.
Our
I'll
forces are
see
under
to
attack.
it. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerubian. Indubitably. By Nerubian. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerubian. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kill double clear. See to it. Feel the venom of Nerubian. Oblivion awaits. Indubitably. By Nerubian. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. By Nerubian. My might cannot be matched. Indubitably. By Nerubian. For the frozen throne. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerubian. Dominating. Feel the venom of Nerubian. By Nerubian. Indubitably. Indubitably. Oblivion awaits.
More gold.
I'll see to it. Kinky.
Our brethren's
I'll
town
see
is
to
under
it.
attack.
I serve only the frozen. My might cannot be matched. I'll consume the living and the dead. By I'll see to it. See to it. By Nerubian. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Indubitably. I'll see to it. By Nerubian. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Indubitably. By I'll see to it. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. By throne. I'll see to it.
Our brethren's town is under attack. Our brethren's town is under attack.
Killing spree. Cheeky. Indubitably. Cheeky. I serve only the frozen throne. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. My might cannot be matched. Indubitably. Cheeky. I'll see to it. Indubitably. Cheeky. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll see to it. I'll consume the dead. Indubitably. I have heard the summons. I'll see to it. Dominating. Indubitably. By Nerubian. I'll see to it. Indubitably. I serve only the frozen throne. Cheeky. By Nerubian. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerubian. Indubitably. By Nerubian. Indubitably. Cheeky. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. By unstoppable. Indubitably. By Nerubian. Cheeky. Indubitably. Wicked sick.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
From the depths I'll come. The living and the dead. Indubitably. I have heard the summons. By Nerubian. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. My might cannot be matched. I serve only the frozen throne. Indubitably. I'll see to it. Speak.
I wish only to
Time
serve.
is fleeting. Mine. I'll see to it. Indubitably. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Indubitably. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerubian. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerubian. Kinky. By Nerubian. I'll see to it.
Our brethren's
I'll
town is under
consume
attack.
the living and the dead. Kinky. By Nerubian. I'll see to it. By Nerubian. I'll consume the living and the dead.
Yes, my
I
friend.
serve only the frozen throne. I have heard the summons. Indubitably. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. My might cannot be matched. I'll see to it. Indubitably. I'll see to it. My Nerubian. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. Indubitably. I serve only the frozen throne. By Nerubian. I'll see to it. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerubian. Indubitably. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead. Monster kill!
Our brethren's town is under attack.
From the depths I come. I have heard the summons. I'll see to it. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. By Nerubian. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerubian. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerubian. Indubitably. I'll see to it. By Nerubian. I serve only the frozen throne. Kinky. By Nerubian. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerubian. Indubitably. I'll see to it. Kinky. By Nerubian. I'll see to it. By Nerubian. see to it. Indubitably. I'll see to it.
Our brethren's town.
I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. Indubitably. By Nerub. I'll
Our
see to
brethren's
it.
town is under attack.
I'll consume the living and the dead. My might cannot be matched. By Nerub. Kinky. Speak.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Kinky. Time is fleeting. Kinky. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. Kinky. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
I'll see to it. By Nerub. I serve only the frozen throne. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerub. I'll see to it. By Nerub. Kinky. My might
Our
cannot
brethren's
be
town is
matched.
under attack.
I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. I serve only the frozen throne. Killing. I'll consume the living and the dead. By Nerub. Double kill. Kinky. By Nerub. I'll see to it. Triple kill. I have heard the summons. Indubitably. Speak.
Welcome to our village.
More
Someone-
gold
I
is
serve
required.
only the frozen throne. By Nerub. I'll consume the living and the dead. I'll see to it. By Nerub. Time is fleeting.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Kinky. I'll see to it. I'll consume the living and the dead.
What
More
ails you?
gold is required. More gold is required. More gold is required.
I serve only the frozen throne. Indubitably. I'll consume the living and the dead.